Hello there, welcome back to Planet Zoo and welcome back to our safari park. I do hope you're well. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your company. So in our last episode we did this. So this whole corner here, so you've got the adventure ride coming up through here. We've got our little shelter over here with a bit of water. We've got a lovely fake river crossing over here, which I was very happy with how that turned out. It's simple, but it looks pretty realistic, I think. And obviously we had our building up here, we had our bridge, just going over the road here for where the trucks pass underneath. Obviously we had the station for the adventure tour as well. And so I promised in the next episode there will be some building work going on, and there will be, and there is. So this is the next island along. Obviously I've already done the bridge coming over here. So I've got an idea of what is going to go up on the top of this island. There will be another adventure tour. So the adventure tour is going to be in this corner, and then this is the slope that the cars will go up and down. I think there might actually be up and down in one space, so there may be two lanes coming up and down here. I'm not too sure about that yet, but the rest of this over here is all going to be filled up with something else I've got in mind. However, first let me show you what I'm working on. So I've put this ring of pathway here because I wanted to make a large observation walkway over here. I mean this area is just crying out for some kind of a viewing platform, isn't it? Because you can look over all the water, you can see right over the other side. So what I've decided to do is do this ring, and the idea is I want to have this shelter around the outside. So this is what I've come up with at the moment. I love this natural roof look, sort of a green roof, isn't it? I thought that looked really nice, kind of lush and green, which obviously you don't get a lot of in this environment. But I like the idea of this being a green natural roof rather than just some tiles or whatever. Wanted to do something a bit different, so that's what I've come up with. So this will hopefully be able to be sort of pasted all the way around here into a large circle. We shall see. And so the idea is, I hope I've made it high enough so the animals will be able to come underneath here, and then in the middle here I'm going to have a load of the food enrichment items to encourage the animals to come right in here and eat. And then the idea is that the people can be standing around here looking down and watching the animals and get really nice and up close and personal with them. That is the hope anyway, but we shall see. And then obviously I'm going to link this with the pathway along here and coming up onto the pathway that's up on the top of the cliff there. I'm not going to tell you what my idea is for all of this over here. You're going to have to wait until I start building it. But it's an interesting idea. I think it's going to look pretty cool. But who knows? I mean, generally my things turn out how I plan them, so hopefully it's going to look good. So there we go. So that is going to be today's episode. So it's going to be this viewing platform and most of this island here. Probably not the adventure tour. I think I'm going to focus on the building work that I'm going to be doing here first, and then maybe the adventure tour will either happen off camera or I will do a separate little episode showing you what I'm doing with that, because I'm not too sure where it's going yet. I don't know if it's going to come around the island this way or if it's going to go up into this corner over here, or around the back here somehow, because I do want to have another one on this island as well, possibly, or possibly not, because this area here doesn't really lend itself to having another adventure tour. So actually it may be that this is the only other one I do, so this might be quite a large one, maybe encompassing all of this area here. I'm not too sure. We shall see. But for now I'm going to focus on this viewing platform because I'm having a lot of fun coming up with the idea for this. So I'm going to go away now and do some more. Okay, so this shelter is just about done now. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm quite happy with how this is turned out actually. I think it looks like a pretty nice ring. I don't mind that you ended up with these gaps. That's just what happens when you create something square and then copy and paste it around into a circle. Unfortunately you will inevitably end up with overlap on the inside and the opposite of overlap on the outside, but that's fine. I like the look of it. I think it looks really cool. I think it works inside as well with the beams crossing like this. So yeah, I'm very happy with how that looks. One thing I did do is change the fencing. I had done some custom fencing in here, or not custom, but I'd used fence pieces in here and in here, but when I copied and pasted it around, they weren't working, especially on the inside. They were sort of overlapping, and it didn't look good at all. So I've gone with the pathway fencing. I've changed the path because I prefer this fencing. So this nice sort of wooden patterned pathway has a better fence attached to it. Yet again, I think I've mentioned this before, but it would be really nice if you could choose the pathway and the fencing separately. So you could have this path but with a different fence attached to it. I think that would be really helpful. I've also obviously just put the legs on here just to make it look like it actually isn't hovering in the air, because that's not particularly realistic, is it? And I'm also, excuse my dodgy camera right there, I'm not too sure what I'm doing, whether I'm going to hide this concrete or not. I don't have too much of a problem. I might try and create some sort of a skirting around here, but obviously it is a big structure, so it probably would be made of concrete anyway, so yeah, don't mind too much. Now, one thing I'm not happy with is this path. This is the basic idea of the path, is that it's just going to come over here, come up the cliff here, and then join in over here. So the basic idea is there, but it doesn't look right. I don't like it like it is. I've got to come up with something much better than that. It's too big, so I think I'm going to make it a smaller path, and I've got to make it look more natural. I don't like these path supports are rubbish. There's lots of good things in this game, but these are silly, because these are, as you can see, these are solid concrete pathways. That is clearly concrete. It would weigh many tons, and the in-game path supports are bits of wood. Now that's just not realistic. These should be, again, it would be nice if you could choose the path supports. So you got these nice wooden ones. They look great, but they're just not realistic to hold up a huge concrete pathway. So it would be good if they did some nice concrete path supports. But I'm not going to use them. I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to do something natural. I've got a bit of an idea, but I don't know how it will look. But it's if it works, it's going to look really nice. If it doesn't, then I'll have to come up with something else. But I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, generally this is sort of here now. Obviously, I'm going to do some more detailing on this. But the basic shape is there. I think that looks pretty cool, actually, especially when you zoom out there. It really stands out, doesn't it? And it would be an amazing view from on here. So like I say, oh, excuse me. So as I said, if you're standing here and looking down on the elephants or giraffe or zebra or antelope or whatever walking around in here, that would be really cool. But then you can just turn around and look at that. I mean, that would be an amazing thing to look at, wouldn't it? Seeing all the animals just roaming around out here. So yeah, really cool. So happy with this. So let me go away now and do some more detailing. I'll be right back. Right, so I've just done a bit more detailing on the shelter here, the viewing platform. So my idea is, obviously, when I do open the park up to people, I want them to actually come around here. So I've put some vending machines in. It's the easiest way to get people to come along. And as you can see, I've also put these TV screens all the way around the outside, highlighting every single animal that is going to be in here. So I'm not going to go around them all, but bisons and elephants and all the different hyenas, basically every African animal in the entire game, apart from the new ones from the new DLC, actually, because I'll be honest, when I recorded this bit of the video, I hadn't downloaded the DLC. It wasn't actually out yet, so I play this game and then I record the commentaries quite a way afterwards. So at the time of making this, the DLC wasn't out, but as of recording the commentary, the DLC is now out. So obviously the main animal was the rhino, which is going to be in the zoo. So maybe I'll change one of these screens to show the rhino, or in fact I could just put another screen in here, but couldn't I? So I will have to do that on my last save game. So obviously I have now got some save games already in the works and in process. So yes, I will come back and sort that out at a later date. However, let me show you what my theory is for this pathway. Now, I have left the pathway as a large pathway, and this is what I've come up with. Obviously this still needs a lot of decorating, but I want to create these natural sort of rock formations. So there'll be probably 3, 1, 2, 3, something like that along here, you know, to make it look like the pathway is being supported on these natural rocks. I think it will look pretty cool once I've got lots of sort of shrubs and a few trees and things put around. So yes, that's the theory. We shall see. So I will go away and do some more work here and see whether it looks half decent or not. I think it will do, but until it's all done, I'm not entirely sure. I will also come back onto this and put some of the little telescopes that I've used elsewhere in the park on in these little gaps. I think wherever the vending machines aren't, I think I will put them in here so that people could stand there and look out across the land. Right, let me go away and do some more. I have put the little telescopes in here. I love these little things. They're fantastic. Oh, excuse me, they are great looking things, aren't they? So there's just a few of those dotted around here. I've also just put some of the enrichment and some bedding in this middle section here. So you've got all sorts of different food enrichments in here. Actually, this one here, I'm not really sure what this is. I don't know what it's suitable for, but it doesn't actually come up in the food enrichment. It's in a different area. I can't quite remember. Is it? Yes, it's actually, well, it's in the food and water, so it's an actual feeding thing rather than an enrichment. So I guess it's going to work in the same way. It's just I've never used it before, but I'm guessing it's mainly for giraffe, I suppose. We shall see. I mean, hopefully the giraffe can walk under here and actually get to it. And then I've just used all the different sort of taller feeding stations. Hopefully that for a variety. So this little one here will be good for the gazelle. And you know, all the smaller antelope type creatures. Not really sure who this one will be for, but I'm sure something that's in here will use it. Same as this one here. So yeah, hopefully there's a good variety there. And then this is what I've been working on. So this is my rock foundations for the pathway. I think it looks really nice actually. I'm very happy with how this has come out. Now that it's all decorated with the shrubs as well, I think it looks really nice. It looks natural. I think it looks strong. It looks like the pathway is supported properly on them. So yeah, I'm very happy with it, and I have done all the way up here as well. So made this a completely rocky cliff face there, so you know, really make it look strong so that the pathway could be laid on top of it. And a nice bit of foliage up here, just filling in the gaps. Put another one of these lovely rhubarbs on here. I just love these things. I think they look fantastic. So there we go. So that's kind of my observation dome done. Very, very happy with how that turned out. What I think I will probably do, I am actually, I think, going to copy and paste this design and do another observation dome over here, because this area just here is just crying out for the same thing. And I have no problem using the same blueprint again. I think it will look really good over there. And there is a possibility that I might even do a third one on this area here, with the sort of over the top of the water. I think that might look really nice actually, because you'll get certain animals using this shallow water area. So actually, if you got the walkway over the top, it'd be kind of nice looking down over the water as well. And I think that would look cool, filling up these gaps with the observation walkways. So yeah, might be using this this whole thing again. Bit of decorating needing on the pathway as well, but I'll come back to that. So the next project to work on is going to be up here. Again, I'm not quite going to tell you what it is until I've started it, and then we'll have to see how the project comes along. Oh yes, one other thing, you'll notice there's a strange shadow on the floor here. That is because there's something hovering in the air. And what it is, I did what I said. As you can see, it's yes, it's one big building, and basically it's a skirt to go around this. So it comes down and it covers up this concrete both on the outside and around the inside as well. However, I don't know if it's going to be, if it hangs down too low for the animals to still be able to walk underneath. I don't think it does. Let me show you what it looks like when it comes down. Here we go. So, oh dear, dodgy camera work again. Do apologise. So yeah, so the idea is that it kind of just slots in like that. So I like it. I think it looks good, but it does obviously make this a lot shorter. And I'm pretty sure certainly the giraffes are taller than this. Now, until I get the animals in the park, I don't know. Basically, I don't know what it's going to look like. Actually, that isn't quite as. It's meant to be higher than that. It's meant to go right up to there. I think that's right. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so that is how it would look if it comes down. So it's really a question of whether the animals can still walk underneath or not. I think most of them should be able to, but the giraffe possibly not. And I do specifically want the giraffe to be walking into this middle bit. So that's why I've made it hover in the air, just so that I can potentially bring it down later at the end of the project. Once the animals are in, I can bring it down and see whether it works or not. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, I will delete it. So there we go. So that is why you will see this strange circular shadow hovering over here. There we go. So right, let me go away then and get started on the next project, which is it's a big project because it's all over here, but it's not as big as you think. I will explain what I mean, and you'll understand once I start building it. So let me go away and do that now. So this is the start of my theory. This is not a theory, it's a plan. So what I want to create here is an area of lodges where people can come along and stay the night. So what I need to build, as you can see here, are individual lodges. So I'm going to create a very detailed lodge design, and basically it will then be copied over this whole area with pathways and lots of scenery and stuff all around it. So there's obviously a lot more to do. This is just a basic shape and layout at the moment. So you've got obviously the steps leading up to the front doors, a couple of windows, and then you'll have this back area here which will be fenced, and this is kind of their social area. I've created this sort of table and chairs here out of logs, which I think looks pretty cool. There might be some sort of shelter here. I've got an idea that I want to create a hot tub in this corner here, so we shall see how that turns out. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm just going to basically, with this, I'm just going to keep on going, adding details until I think I reached a point that I'm happy where it looks like an African lodge. At the moment, it's nowhere close, obviously. There's still a lot of things to do. Not happy with the windows. They don't look right. So I do wish there were more doors and windows in the game. There just aren't enough variants. I mean, some of the doors just look terrible, and the windows. They don't look like doors and windows, really. You know, some of them are okay. Some of them look really good. I mean, this looks decent, but it's not actually a very good window if you think about that. I mean, there's barely any window to see through. So even though it looks great as a piece, in a lodge like this, it's no good, because you'd want nice big open windows, not this sort of slattered stuff. Obviously you've got stuff like that. It's a closed window. Again, it's just not appropriate. That one just doesn't look very good. The doors are even worse. I mean, look at that. I mean, they're huge. They're really over the top. And I'm not sure I'm not sure how that is appropriate to a zoo. I mean, it just doesn't look like a door for a zoo, does it? And there's, I mean, look at these. There's so many of these big doors, and I get it. They're good for certain buildings, but no zoo in real life would actually have any of these doors in. So it's kind of frustrating. I mean, look at these things. I mean, they do look great. Don't get me wrong, but they're not that usable in many situations. And some of them don't even. I mean, that doesn't even look like a door. It's a great piece. Again, you could use it in all sorts of situations, but it just doesn't really look like a door, does it? yeah, and as for the windows, I mean, look at the size of it. They're quite over the top. I mean, again, they do look great, but I don't like these ones. I mean, that just looks weird. I don't really. It looks like a fridge door or something, doesn't it? You know, and there's all these variations. But I don't get what that's meant to look like. It's like opaque glass, and then it's got like a wide frame at the top, no frame at all on the left, and then a narrow one on the right and narrow on the bottom. I don't know, it looks a lot lopsided. That one is a bit better, and again this one, it's all over the place. It's like the graphics have gone wrong, and why has it got a big chunky bit at the top and not at the bottom? You know, it just doesn't look right. Maybe I'm just being a bit pernickety, but yeah, I mean, again, it's a great piece. It's a door panel. Well, I mean, look at the size of this. I just want some normal looking doors, you know. It's not asking for too much, is it? Anyway, there we go. Sorry, moan over. You know, I guess I just have to be more creative with my doors and my windows. There we go. Right, so I'm going to go away and do some more detailing on this thing, and I'll be right back. Happy with how this is coming along now, actually. So you can see I've done a little more detailing at the front here. So just put some African surrounds on the windows and some of these masks, just to give it that sort of African feel. There'll be some flowers out the front in these pots. I'll put this sign in here with a little frame and a sign. So what I'm going to do, each lodge will have a name, and it will probably be an African animal name to identify your lodge. So when you book in, you'll be told, right, you're staying in, you know, the elephant lodge, and it will just say elephant on there, and then you'll know what lodge to go to. Again, just detail on the windows on each side, and the back here, I'm really happy with how this has come along. So you walk out your back door. So obviously I'm not doing detailing on the inside, but yes, you walk out your back door here, and you have your fire pit on the side here, your fire pit and your sort of oven as well, which I love these pieces. I think they look fantastic. So you do your cooking over there. You've got your tables and chairs under here, and I've done a little sort of a canopy there with some nice African cloth hanging over the top. I thought that looks pretty cool. I like that. And this is my masterpiece, my hot tub. I think that looks really nice. I'm so happy with how this turned out. So this is, let me explain what pieces this is. So you've got, you have a large water bowl, which is a concrete fountain. As you can see the shape of it under there. So it's one of these large concrete fountains. Then I've just created the circle of the wooden beams, which you do with the simple, you create this side, you copy it to that side, and then you copy and paste and turn it, and you just keep on doing that until it becomes a circle. Really simple technique, but it looks cool. Obviously I've just created some basic steps here with planks, and then given it a roof with a nice bit of thatch, some of these tree log pieces as supports, and then inside here, this piece here is, it's a, hang on, let me see if I can actually select it. I'm not really sure what it is. It says this is an African decorative rock. Well, it doesn't look like a rock to me. It looks like I suppose it is a stone post with this sort of thatch stuff at the end. So I thought that looked really cool hanging upside down as a lampshade, and then I've just put a light in the end. So yeah, I think that looks pretty nifty. And then what I've done with the effect inside, it's just bubbles. And I created a massive grid of them, so there's about 30 of these bubble machines in here, just to make it look like the whole thing is fizzing. Now obviously it's not perfect because it doesn't really look like a hot tub inside. Oh look, there you go. So you can see all the bubble machines under there. There's quite a lot of them there. But yeah, I like the effect. I think that looks really cool. Let me zoom out a bit. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that turns out. I think that looks fantastic. I'm so pleased with that. I might even have to create that as a little blueprint on its own and reuse it elsewhere, because yeah, really pleased with that. Now I've just got this hammock hanging out here, or hammock. What is it? I can never remember what these are. It's a hammock, of course it is. What's a hammock? Have I just made up a word there? I think I have. So what I'm going to do out here, I'm going to create just a small garden area to the side here with one of these hammocks hanging, possibly a couple of them hanging here. Still maybe do a bit more detailing. I might do something with the roof. I'm not too sure whether I like that or not. But yeah, so the idea is that this is obviously I'm going to maneuver the whole thing into position, and then it's going to be copied and pasted all over here, all sitting at different angles with pathways all linking them all. I think it's going to look really nice once I've got the pathways in and done the trees, foliage, rock work, that sort of thing. I think it's going to look really nice, but we shall see. So anyway, let me go away and crack on with some more. Here is my finished design. So I haven't done too much more. I'll put some flowers in the front. I put these rocks all the way around the outside. I just thought they added a nice sort of support to the building. I don't know. I just like the look of it. I just think it works. It just finishes it off. I also put this chimney on the back here as well. I like the idea that inside there's a nice sort of cooking area or stove or something, in there, where people can stay inside and cook if they want. And then the hummocks. I've said it again. It's not a hummock, it's a hammock. Well, I'm such an idiot. So I've done 2 of them out here with these supports. And then the idea is that I will decorate each of these slightly differently. So as you can see, I have laid my my lodges out. Yeah, I think that's going to look really nice. I mean, obviously it fills up this area nicely, creates a kind of I think once it's all done with foliage, I think it's going to look pretty cool actually. So yeah, there we go. And now obviously if I really wanted to, I could have gone along and built all of these individually, but it just doesn't make sense. I haven't got that much time or patience. And in real life they would pretty much just all look the same. Obviously I've just pointed them all in different directions so they look a little bit random. I've kind of tried to keep it so that the back areas are fairly private, but there's only so much you can do so that people couldn't look at each other. Like, I mean, I've tried to point them all in opposite directions. These 2 over here actually are quite close, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Once I've got plenty of foliage and that around, I think hopefully they would feel fairly private, but we shall see. I did put a smoke effect coming out of the chimney, so there's a smoke puff. So I think sort of every 10 seconds or so, here we go, you get a nice puff of steam coming out there. I think that looks pretty cool. Steam, smoke, not sure. Smoke, I suppose. Yeah, so there we go. So I'm really happy with how this lodge looks actually. I think it's pretty decent. It looks a good size for sort of a family of 4 to come and stay in overnight, or for a couple of nights. It would probably be quite expensive, wouldn't it? But I think it'd be worth it. I mean, especially some of these out on the edge. I mean, this one here, if you could stay here, sit in this hot tub with a view like this, just looking out over the plains, or sitting here eating your dinner looking out over there, I think that would look fantastic. So this one here would probably be more expensive to reserve than this one right in the middle, because you're not going to get the view from this one, are you? But that's exactly what happens in real life if you've ever been to any sort of park like this where you get lodges. The ones with the views would cost more than the ones without the views. That is just how things work, I'm afraid. Anyway, I won't waffle on about financial things, because obviously that's nothing to do with the game. I'm just jibber jabbering. Right, so what I need to do next is start on the pathway. So it's going to come off of this corner bend bit here, I think, and snake into here, and then I think what I want to do is some kind of sort of a round pathway just here that branches off, then leading in different directions to connect to all the lodges. I think that's the idea. So let me go away now and get that sorted. Right, so I've done my path layout. So as you can see, it comes off of here. I love this big tree, so I've used that as a centerpiece on this middle path here, and just done some little details, just some rocks and some shrubs around the bottom. So there's 4 pathways, each one leads to a certain number of lodges. So you've got a pathway here leading to 2, this one here leads to 3, this one here leads to 4, and this one over here leads to 3. And again, there's just a couple more trees as well as sort of central pieces to the pathways where the pathways created a little sort of a missing gap in the middle. So I'll just use the trees to plug the gaps, and I think that looks pretty cool. One thing I am actually going to do is change the path. The layout is right, but I don't want it to be this big gravel pathway. I decided it's too in your face, too what's the word, it's not natural enough. So I'm going to change it to the natural pathway. You know, this one with the little logs along the side. This one here, a natural path that marks your terrain with curb markers. So yeah, it's gonna be that, or without the fences. It's going to have the little logs, not a fence. I think that'll look much nicer. But the basic layout is there, and I think that's going to look really nice. And then obviously I will just decorate all around it with lots of trees and shrubbery. That's the idea. I have also named the lodge. So we have lion, wildebeest, rhino, elephant. Yes, I can name that animal. Giraffe. Who else do we have? Cheetah, gazelle, zebra, bongo. I love that name, bongo. A gemsbok. I think I was getting desperate now. Oh, and a hippo. I forgot the hippo. Yeah, that's a good one. So there we go. So they're all named, and I'll probably do some signposts around here, kind of pointing you in the right direction for each lodge. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this area is coming along now. So let me go away and crack on with a little bit more. Quick update here. I just wanted to show you the pathways. Now that I've replaced it with this lovely logged edge one, I think that looks much better. And I've just done my signs. So here you have your little signs just pointing you in the direction of all the different lodges. Yeah, there we go. Really simple, but it's exactly what you would find in this kind of place. So yeah, so all that's left to do really is decorate it. So I'm probably not going to do a lot of rock work. I want to keep that to a minimum. I think it's mostly going to be shrubs up here, I think. Yeah, so trees and shrubs. Oh, I also did just each one, and obviously each one will also have different shrubbery and trees around it as well. Just to make each one stand out a little bit. So right, so I think just one more update. I'm going to go away now basically and just decorate this entire area and come back and show you once it's finished. And here we are. I have done lots of trees and lots of shrubs. It's taken a while because I wanted to keep it looking real and natural and spaced out, but at the same time not dense, but realistically spread out. So the trees are growing at a good distance from each other and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I really just kept it random, and then just dotting these different shrubs all over the place. Not just along the sides of the pathway, but out in the open as well. Big things, little things. Try to shelter these hammocks. So each lodge has got one of these umbrella trees growing by the hammocks in a slightly different way each time, because they provide the perfect shelter. So yeah, I think it looks lovely. I'm really happy with how this whole area has come out. I've also put lights, so let me just show you what it looks like at night, because I think it looks kind of cool. So you can see the path. Oh, look at that! The pathway is lit up with these little the Arctic lights, actually, these ones, but no, so the aquatic lamppost. But I thought they looked really cool, so I've used them, and they light the way. And obviously around the middle here I've made sure that they shine onto the lights, the lights on the signs, so that at night time you could find your way into your lodge, and just navigate your way along the pathway here. Oh look, hippo, that's my lodge. There we go. Let's head on in. Obviously the light on the hot tub looks cool. Really like that sort of yellow light on there. And these things look great at night as well, because these obviously light up nicely. And this one here actually puffs every, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. I think it sends out a big puff of smoke. It's not going to do it now, is it? There we go. Kind of fizzes. This one just constantly smokes, which is very cool. Yeah. So there we go. So that's, let me put it back to daytime again, and we can see where we are. So that is my lodge area. There's in this area just here, this gap, I'm going to do some kind of a sign, sort of a welcome to the, I don't know, Safari Lodges or something like that. I'm not sure what it's going to be called yet. But yeah, I think it's a lovely area. I think it's turned out exactly how I wanted it to. I think the lodges look pretty cool. Oh, I purposely put these ferns, these lovely tree ferns, on the corners, wherever the pathways, it doesn't work on that one, but wherever the pathways here like diverge into the lodges, I put them in. So the idea is that those were placed there, whereas all these other things are very natural, and the lodges have been built around the trees. That's kind of the logic that I was going for, and I think it's worked pretty nicely, I'll be honest. Now, one thing, obviously in real life there would be fencing all the way around this cliff, because it would be very dangerous to let people just come over here and fall off the cliff. Plus, of course, they wouldn't want any animals trying to climb up, but for the sake of the game I'm not going to do that, because it just wouldn't look very good. And obviously I'm not going for particular realism in this park. I've left this area empty. I kind of like the idea that maybe the people that work that live in the lodge could come out at night and kind of walk around up here and look down at the animals without obviously the animals being able to get up to them. I kind of think that the idea as well is that at night time they would do maybe sort of guided tours where people from the lodges can come out and they'd be shown all the way down here. So this would be while the park was closed to the public, and the people from the lodge would come down into this viewing area at night. Obviously this one is lit up as well, so they could come down here at night and observe the animals behaving as they do at night time. I thought that would be an interesting idea as well. I do need to do some more lighting, of course, on this pathway here. Lighting is something that I keep forgetting. I've not really done a lot of it on these other pathways, so I might have to go back at some point and do a bit more. But yeah, there we go. That's fine. So yeah, there we go. That's that is my lodge. I don't know what's it called. A lodge park, a lodge area. I don't know. A lodge village. There you go. It's my village. Oh, that's yeah. I like that. The lodge village, or no, the village. Just the village. Actually, yeah. Let's call it the village. That is the village done. So there's still more to do on this island. So obviously I've left this gap over here. So this is where the adventure ride is going to be, and it's going to go down this slope. And actually, I'm not sure where it's going to go. It originally was going to loop around, but because I've done this here, I suppose I could bring it in this way. Actually, if I just clear this foliage, I could have the vans coming in here, couldn't I? I will try that actually. I think that might look really nice having the trucks come through there. Yeah, now that I think about it, that does kind of lend itself to having the trucks drive underneath, doesn't it? So actually, yes, I think that's probably what will happen. Now, obviously, there is only the one access point here, so I think what will happen is the trucks will come down here, probably around the back this way, so anti-clockwise, around here, all the way around, and then turn around and come back up this slope and into the end again. I think that's what I'll do. I'm not going to have them coming over into this corner or around the back here. I may do, I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do on this island here, and I have got an idea of what I want to do on this one. I don't know if it's going to work, but I've got an idea. But for now, that is the village done, and I'm very pleased with how that is looking. So please let me know what you think, whether you like my lodges. I do hope you've enjoyed watching me develop my village, at least. So we're looking good, you know. The park, there we go. The park's probably sort of half filled now. I know I've still got some details to do, but I think it's looking pretty good, even if I do say so myself. I'm still not 100% happy with these bridges. I still may redo the supports. I do like the idea of doing some arched supports, so that is something that I'm going to look into at some point when I've got the enthusiasm to do it. But for now, I think I am very happy with how it's all coming along. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to say that you like it or that you hate it, it's entirely up to you. I don't mind. I'm having a lot of fun building it and coming up with new creative ideas. So I'm going to keep doing it, I guess, whether you like it or not. I hope you like it, but at the end of the day, I'm doing this for my own pleasure, really. And if you like it, that's just a bonus. So there we go. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one, where I'll be working on the adventure ride on this island. Until then, take care, and I will see you soon.